It is Scotty. I'm in Mama's kitchen. Can you believe it? Yes. Mom is going to try to teach me how to bake.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
he's been home from Florida for 2 weeks, and this is the first I've seen him.
I know. This is the first time we have seen each other since March. Because you guys were away.
Yep.
Then we were away in Hawaii getting engaged. Can you believe it?
I know.
And then we came back, quarantined, and fled to Florida. So we have not seen each other since March. Yeah.
So this is nuts. I mean, we talk to each other, but it's a long time.
Exactly. It is a long time. I miss you too. And that being said, we are baking. You know what? I was sort of inspired by Anderson Cooper's documentary with his mother, Nothing Left Unsaid. He wanted to sit down with his mother and hear all her stories. And I said, before this one kicks the bucket, I better learn how to bake some of her favorite. I better learn how to bake some of her favorite recipes.
Yes.
So, Mom is joining me in the kitchen. Get better, get in the shot a little more. Let the people see you. So we are doing that, and you know what? Through COVID, a lot of people have gotten into baking.
I'm in the kitchen all the time.
It's crazy.
Yes.
So one of the things I hear people are doing is breads and sourdough bread. Is this correct? Have you heard about this?
I love sourdough bread. I've looked at all the films, different films through COVID, watching Jamie Oliver. He did it. I want the starter. I don't know how to
I'm trying to understand what that starter is, because
I'm not sure. But,
from my understanding, it's like basically old dough that people pass down from generation to generation.
It has to do with yeast or something, and you ferment it, or I don't know what. But yeah,
I do like sourdough, though.
Always keep some for the next loaf, and then you keep, and once you have it for life.
Okay.
It's the way it is.
Okay.
I
like it.
And I'm not sure how that.
Well, we decided we had to cheers first. So if you're watching, put us on pause, grab a cocktail.
Please join us.
Yes, Lord knows that we can't do this without this. I'm just joking, of course. I'm so happy. All right, so today, in our first recipe in the series, for this YouTube exclusive, you are making, what are you making, Mom? Tell the folks.
I'm making tomato soup cake. Don't knock it till you try it.
Exactly.
It sounds horrible, but if you like spice cake, you're going to love this.
Kind of like a carrot cake. I know you're sitting at home going, what in the honey boo boo hell is tomato soup cake? It's like her tomato sauce and scatty. So it's not that. I promise you it's delicious.
It is good. And I used to have this on the table made when the kids would come home from school, and the house smelled wonderful. And I haven't made it in years, but I kind of look back. It's simple, really, really simple, and it is delicious.
It is delicious. And you know what? I will say this. My mom, whenever we got home from school, there was always baked goods on the table. That could be why we all suffer with that. It was a welcome home. And I swear for you, it was sort of a relaxation thing.
It was. It's my thing.
It kept her from, drowning us all in the tub. I am one of four. Yeah, so 4 kids at home growing up. That was a lot.
It was a lot. And I loved to see their eyes when there'd be something there, even if it was Rice Krispie treats, but something.
Yes.
And when they came home, they could have a little snack before dinner or whatever. And
I love that.
Yeah.
So when we first started talking about this and saying, okay, Mom, I don't cook. Anybody who knows me knows I don't cook. I don't bake. I don't use the kitchen other than to heat up, maybe take out. And even then, I don't like to have to heat it up. But I wanted to have some of the recipes that we had growing up. You used to make tomato soup cake. Look how old this is.
How old it is.
Yes, it's like paper mache, that thin paper from the ancient dynasties.
And it was copied from a church cookbook.
Can you imagine a day when there were cookbooks at church? What did it say? Like, a cup of salt and pray the rosary. A cup of salt would be a lot. All right. Yeah. So that being said, let's start with the recipe. Right. How do we start with this, Mom?
Well, this is how I bake and cook everything. The first ingredient was half a cup of shortening.
Yeah.
I'm changing it.
Okay.
I never go for a recipe, so do what you want with this. But I'm using butter. Because would I spread shortening on toast? No. I'm using butter.
Okay. So Mama doesn't love shortening
no,
bread. All right. So we start with butter. And why are we starting with the butter and not the flour or any of that?
The butter and the sugar are going to get creamed.
Okay.
It's a cup of sugar.
Okay.
And then we're going to get this.
In the KitchenAid mixer, yes. Yep. I remember when you got the KitchenAid mixer. Yes.
Yes,
When you
yes.
got that, you said, I have to have the one with the arms because that's the industrial
that's
one.
the big one. I
Yes.
used to do a double batch of pizza dough or something like that. You have to have the big one or forget it.
Yes. The KitchenAid makes it a classic. So we have
Turn
a
it
whole
over.
stick of butter.
Whole stick of butter.
You had
one
let
cup of
that
sugar.
sort of
And it's
warm
got-
in the house,
it's
right?
got- I
Yep.
kept it room temperature or thereabouts.
And then 1 cup of sugar. So that is
And then you
turning,
cream
turning,
it.
turning. Now, like when we were kids, did you used to exercise as you baked?
Oh, sure.
Like, yes, woo! Get the shake weight out. She always had the newest invention, the Thigh Master, the shake weight.
Continue to try.
Yeah, okay, yes. All right. So the next ingredient we're going to go in, and
gonna be an egg.
what are we getting to as far as texture in this?
We want it to get creamy.
Creamy, okay, and
or
broken up.
thereabouts. I never really wait completely, but
Okay.
the butter and the sugar. Except you know what? I wanna
Yeah, you want to get the spatula and clean it up.
I do.
Perfect. Get your spatula. All right. The key, what every baker needs is a spatula. Isn't that the truth?
It is. Yep.
Do you know what? I'm going to tell you all a secret, and you're gonna want to throw up when you hear this. But my back is a little hairy, so I have my sister come near my back occasionally, and I use a spatula to apply it. Not this one, I swear. But it spreads across wide surfaces a little bit better. Mom's grabbing a better spatula.
this better.
There's the Nair spatula. No, I'm joking.
All right. So now we can add an egg.
Okay, now we've got 1 egg going in. Okay. Very nice.
Alrighty.
Perfect. And we've got all of it preset like
Yes.
any great cooking show. The intern came in today and set it all up.
I'm the help.
Yes. All right, so talk about the tomato soup.
This is a can of tomato soup. It's Campbell's, but it doesn't have to be. But the condensed can of soup. And you add 1 teaspoon of baking soda to this. So this doubled in size.
It did. It
We
grew
left it, we
in
just-
front of our eyes. Yeah.
Yep. So now
Who
we-
knew all it took was a tablespoon of
baking
baking soda.
Yeah, and there you go.
Women at home are throwing that at their husband right now to make
I
it
know.
double in size.
Say no more. So anyway, now
All
I'm
right.
going to put this in here. The tomato soup with a teaspoon of baking soda.
And I promise you, tomato soup cake, it is a delicious cake. You hear it whenever I've said to people in passing over the years, "Oh, my favorite thing my mom made was tomato soup cake." They'd be like, "What the hell are you talking
Yeah, right.
about?
How is
Tomato soup cake?"
They don't go together.
Yes, they don't. But it is a spice cake. It's in the vein of carrot cake.
Yep.
So okay, so what
Yep.
are we adding next? So we put in the tomato
so
soup.
now we're going to incorporate that. Just quick.
Okay.
So then we have 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder
Okay.
in there, and I put the nutmeg in here, a teaspoon of nutmeg. It's mixed in. But I never really sifted. I just kind of make sure that the baking powder is in the flour, and I kind of aerate the flour with a fork.
All right, that's it. So
It's
you aren't
just
getting the
quicker,
sifter
easier.
out and putting it.
Yeah,
All
I had
right.
a little kitchen. I didn't have room for a sifter.
Yes.
So
Okay.
there we go.
So no sifting for Mama.
No.
She was in the other room doing her thigh master.
Not really.
All right.
So now this guy is good.
Perfect. I love baking. Look, this is so easy.
I'm going to throw in the spices.
Okay.
There's a teaspoon of cinnamon, a half a teaspoon of cloves, and then a teaspoon of nutmeg. And I'm
Okay.
putting everybody together here so that
Mixing it, mix it up, mix it up.
And then they just
Okay, so when we were kids growing up, we had this big deck in the backyard. And my idea of baking, all of us, we would sit under the deck, and there was like a mixture of sand and dirt. And when you mix that, it looked like brown sugar and flour.
Yes.
And we were baking under the deck.
go pick berries and put them in.
Yes, exactly. We did. We would pull berries from our backyard and put them in. Let's see.
Slowly add this.
Slowly's the key, right? Because I would make a
Yeah.
total mess of this.
Yeah, just I'm going to let that go, and then I'll put more in.
Okay.
And make sure it's not down low so you don't look like a ghost.
Okay, get back in the shot so you don't keep disappearing,
Sorry,
Mama.
All right.
She's gotten shorter over the years.
I
Oh no! All right, so at this point, all the ingredients are in except for the raisins.
Everybody.
Which, can I tell you, I went to get raisins today at the grocery store. I had no clue where to find raisins. I
Yeah,
went
yeah.
to the baking aisle thinking, of course, raisins would be in the baking aisle. We're using it to bake. Nope, weren't there. So then I'm like, is it over by cereal? I could not find it. Finally, I found it in the bulk
I know
section.
exactly. Oh, you did?
Yeah, that was where they had them. So here's a tip, a Scotty D tip.
Yeah.
Raisins are in the bulk
Don't
section.
give up, you'll find it.
Exactly. Just ask somebody.
Be that person. Excuse me.
Excuse me, sir. Be a Karen. I need to speak to your manager. I can't find raisins. No, that's not. Nobody likes that person. All right,
I don't
so
want to overwork it, but I
perfect.
do want to get it so that everything is in here.
Excellent.
So just kind of move it around one more time, and that's it. I mean, and then we'll stir the raisins in.
Perfect. We're going to stir those in with the machine or by hand?
You know, I used to do it with the machine. It might break them up. The proper way is probably to do it by hand, but we'll put them in.
All right. So, do you know what I would want to do? Can I help? Can I start
Yeah,
to put things
you
in?
got it.
I feel like you should do this with like a little panache. Like, ooh, ooh,
There you go. I knew
jazz hands, raisins. Ooh, jazz hands, raisins. Oops, I'm making a mess. Ooh, raisins do not look appetizing on the counter by themselves. Oh wait, there's more. Put them in with pizzazz though.
hands. Yes, definitely.
Oh yeah, I forgot to clean my hand. No, I'm joking. I do that like constantly. Happy birthday
I
to
know,
me. Happy
we're
birthday to me. Happy birthday, dear
Everybody's
Scotty.
paranoid at
Exactly.
But that's okay.
All right, so we're gonna take that out. That's ready, and the consistency's there for us.
Yep, here you go.
Perfect. It's sort of like a pumpkin color
Yep.
dough. Okay.
So it's already feeling. This is great in the fall. It really is nice to make in the fall, and the house smells amazing.
It smells good already. Now, the other thing you can add to this, walnuts. People like walnuts.
Yes, my kids, I threw walnuts in a couple of times. They're like, "What did you do different? We don't like it." So they didn't want the walnuts, so I'm not doing it. But it's better with walnuts.
Okay. So now the next step of this would be to put it in what size pan?
13 by 9.
13 by 9. So it's just a flat sheet
We
cake
did
pan.
not get
We did
ready,
not
but that's
prep,
okay.
but that's okay because you're going to see a picture of the final product.
Yes.
So-
all we do is put it in the pan. If it's a non-stick pan, don't worry about it. Otherwise, you might want to give it a spray.
Okay.
Back in the day, you used to butter it, flour it, yada yada. But no.
No, not anymore. Okay.
We have
So,
spray.
oh, look at that. That dough it actually does. Is it dough or what would you
It's,
call that?
cake
Mix.
batter.
Cake batter.
Batter, yep.
There we go. Batter.
Yeah.
Look at her. She's such a professional teaching me things.
all I
Who
know.
knew?
It's all I know.
So cake batter. All right. So this goes in the into the pan.
Yes.
13 by 9
Yep.
you said? Okay.
13 by 9.
Perfect.
And you'll see it. And then
We're gonna throw it-
350. And this I remember even.
Yeah.
It was 45 to 50 minutes. No way. Check it at 25 minutes. 'Cause
Really?
And you do the toothpick test, and it usually was done. You might have to go to 30 minutes, but it never went as long as this. So
Okay.
somebody made a mistake.
Somebody made a mistake with that. It was a typo in a
Yeah.
time before typos,
Yeah.
I'm thinking. I tend to think that church,
Or it was a crunchy cake. Huh?
yes, that church cookbook, maybe it made it like fruit cake.
Oh, it might. Yeah. Who knows?
All right, so we're going to put it in the pan, put it in the oven. When we come back, we're going to make icing. So that's going to be part 2 of this YouTube video.
Yes.
And what type of icing is it?
It's cream cheese frosting, the best.
My favorite! I'm doing my cream cheese frosting
No.
dance. All right, cheers. We'll be right back.
Okay,
Check
yeah,
it. Check
we
it
might
out.
be doing something else.
Yes, exactly. And we may make it back. All right, part 2 on YouTube, this YouTube exclusive Baking with Mom. We'll see you shortly.